seen a real rainbow. I still believe though. Gotta believe though. It hurts me when people are fighting. Different street sides. Words cut like sharp knives. But it doesn't have to be that way. I will not believe that I'm the only one who has that dream. No, it doesn't have to be that way. But will it take?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Expanding Your Power. I am your host, S.A. Casey. It's so glad to be back. We've been on hiatus for a while, but we are back now, and we are in full force. We have some exciting news for you. We will be doing a series on a new book. This book is awesome. It is called #Unmuted Strategies to Move from Tragedy to Triumph. And it has 9 co-authors. The visionary for this book is none other than the voice manager herself, Altovise Pelzer. And she is also the CEO and founder of #World Voice Lead. So we're going to start further ado. I'm going to let Paula come and tell you all about her part in the book. I'm very excited about this. So now we have all the way from New York City, live, Miss Paula McDowell.
Well, what an intro. Thank you, Cherie. How are you?
I am good. I'm a little mad and upset because on the East Coast it's hot and on the West Coast it's cold.
Yes, it's a beautiful day here in New York. It's like 70 degrees. I had my walk this morning. The park was so beautiful. See all the different colors on the fall leaves. And it was just good to be able to get outside and walk and take in the fresh air and the sunshine. And I just want to thank you for having me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you for
really
agreeing to be a guest. So we want to get right into this because you have so much information. I want you to tell our audience who you are. Who is Paula McDowell?
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I'm going to tell you, I serve individuals who move beyond chronic situations to create solutions for lifestyle changes that start a movement in health, wellness, healing, and self love. I know all too well about all of those things, and I want to help you divorce your sad story and marry your new beginning. That's what I do. I'm so excited to be a part of this project because we know as women, it's so important to become unmuted. It's important to have your voice in your community, in your home, in your workplace. We, we're the nurturers of the community, so we should have a voice as well. So, I'm just grateful each and every moment. Um, after the series of events and traumatic things that happened in my life that I still have a voice. And I was honored to be able to share this project with all the other women that are involved. Like Cherie said, it's an awesome, awesome women here. And my take of the story is I'm not going to give too much, but enough coming out of the shadows. As you know, October just passed, and I am a survivor of domestic violence. Not just a survivor, a thriver. And one time that was a shameful thing in my life I didn't want to talk about, I didn't want to share. But I thank God every day for growth and understanding. When you share your story with somebody else, you can help save a life because maybe she didn't think she could get out with her children. Maybe she didn't think she could plan and put away a little money that he didn't know about so she could have enough to at least to get from that destination. But I just want to let you know if you have hope, you can always get out. Always, always. So
Yes. The things when you're in a situation sometimes it seems hopeless. You know, it seems hopeless, particularly for young women. You know, young women in those situations, they don't see a way out. I recently, I had a someone I encountered. Um, someone said to me, "Well, I'm just going to give up on my dream." Struck me like, wow, you know, the sense of hopelessness. But I can remember being in that place as well. Um, so, Paula, what was this experience like? Tell me what your experience was like with this book, because I know in the very beginning, when it came to the subject matter, as a co author myself, I struggled because there's so many things that I've gone through in life. So tell me about your experience with just selecting the topic.
It was definitely hard to select the topic, to come from a place where you could give information or you could teach. Because sometimes when you go back and think about that moment and you actually live that moment, it's kind of sadness and bitterness at the same time, or being angry. But for me, I struggled. I really did. I started until Altovise gave us the writing prompt. Just start writing. Whatever comes out, just let it flow. And once I went from that moment, that's how I created what I was going to say. I didn't want to make it all about my abuser. I wanted to make it about the things that I learned about myself in the journey. So, and that's how it started forming. Because I didn't want to blame. I didn't want to blame. I wanted to take the part that I played, and you know, something that always makes sense when I think about. Dorothea always says, "Red flags don't turn me." You know, when I think about and I go back to that moment when I had that red flag, or you had that intuition, that gut feeling, but you let it pass, or you talk yourself out of it, and you still go along even when you know you should. You know, you have to have that conversation with yourself. When you start getting honest about it, and I got honest about it. I stayed way longer than I should have, and I knew I should have left. Sometimes it's out of pride, sometimes it's out of fear. We don't want to go back and have our family and our friends say, "I told you so," or you just feel like you don't have any place else to go, whatever the situation. But there comes a time when you say enough is enough. And for me, the time was when I realized if I didn't make a choice, it was going to be detrimental to my health and to my children. So I had to accept that for myself. This project was like giving birth. Girl, this when it's like when I said yes in June, everything that could go wrong went wrong. Time after I got over one situation, it was another situation. You know, over and over. So it was actually like giving birth. But it all came together in the end. I promise you, it was like giving birth.
I understand. I know because of just putting it on paper. What was it like for you to put it all on paper?
It was strips of paper. You know, because I'm the type of person I always keep a book. I write on envelopes. I have note cards for everything. I write it down. So I had to break my pieces together in my thoughts and put them all and then put them on paper, because I started doing it with pieces, thoughts of what I was going to say, or when it came to me, and come back to what I was. So it was a challenge, but I got it all together. I was like, "Where's my paper? Where's my script? Where's my receipt? Where's my envelope?" I had pieces of paper. I've always been the type of person that doodles and write. And even though I say I'm not a writer, I've always been a writer. I laugh at myself because I have journals of things that I write, you know, in strips of paper. But you know, then there comes a time when it's the right time for me to share it with others. And that time came for me. And I was so honored to be on this project because so many powerful stories, so many awesome women who survived so many things and have wisdom to give other people. You know, I'm grateful to be able to sit in the midst of wise counsel because we take the information from other women. We feel blessed to be able to use that information to help better your life. part of the journey. So thank you for sharing your story as well.
Oh, for me, I had to take a second look at a third look at myself every time I read it. Listeners, and the one thing that you said is, uh, we as women, we take a lot. We
Yes,
put up with a lot, and I think we stay because we are, and that's a whole nother topic. I'm thinking about doing an anthology on that. Why women stay? Because I think
very,
people need to hear, yeah, because I think people need to understand that nobody wants to be in these situations. Nobody
very
wants to
true.
stay there. Nobody wants to. I heard someone, and I can't really elaborate on it, uh, say something about being in a marriage for a long time with a person who was struggling with something. And I thought about it, and the takeaway was interesting. Something else is going on, something else is lacking. I'm not getting my needs met. I'm not getting my attention that I need. And so I don't feel that's a fair situation. What is the message that you really want women to get out of your story?
To listen. As women, we come in, we talk a lot, and there's a difference between listening and waiting to talk. Because if we listen in the beginning and we're tuned in, we'll be able to see, feel, and hear the red flag. Because if it's not something that's in agreement with you, when you're listening, you'll be able to hear. When you're in tune with yourself, self love, there are things, gestures that people can make that they don't agree with you. That's not something you'll be a part of. But we have to listen to ourselves and know our worth and able to be tuned into that. And it takes work if we want to talk that in the beginning. So I want women never to be afraid to ask for help, no matter what situation you're in. Because I know what it feels like to be ashamed to even tell anyone. When it first starts, when you know it's not right. Okay, maybe sometimes you get into a little disagreement, shove, but when it becomes a repeated behavior, that's never even acceptable. But if you grew up in an abusive environment like I did, you would think it's not a big deal. So, well, like you said, we should have a talk about that, why people stay. Sometimes it's not a big deal. You don't even think you're getting abused. If you didn't get a broken arm like your mother or your aunt or a black eye or some missing teeth, you might not think you're getting abused. You
Right.
know,
It's yeah, it's not visible, so but
it's different level.
mhm.
And it depending on the culture and how you were brought up or raised, you might think it's normal until you go to your other friend's house. Like I went to my friend's house before when I was young. I was like, your daddy don't hit your mother. They don't fight. I was like shocked. As a kid, I can remember like 13 asking one of my friends that your parents don't fight. Wow. So, it all depends on how you're raised, the culture, how you're brought up. So we have to think about that. And even now with this newer generation, they have access to so much information and so many things are acceptable or they're desensitized. I don't know. It's because I really don't like to look at TV. Sometimes I feel weird saying that, but I don't. But I know that other people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's okay with you, I just choose not to. But we have to take in all those factors when we're dealing with people. And now, with people being home so much and being inside, we don't know what they're facing or what they're dealing with. So we want you to be able to have some strategies to try to stay safe and be able to determine if it's time for you to make your next move.
Absolutely, because And what you said about, there's two things that you just said. The first one is about being afraid to share with someone. In my part of my story, I talk about going to a support group, walking into the support group and, just opening up and sharing my story. And right away, one of the sisters was very honest with me, to the point where she goes, "So, what you're saying, sis, is that you're a prisoner in your own house." And right away, I took offense.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of listening, I took offense. And I'm like, I'm not going back there no more, you
But
know?
it got you thinking.
And that person was a catalyst for me, you know? So just opening up,
Yes.
she's one of my catalysts, and she's my biggest fan and mentor
Good.
today. We don't, we're afraid to share, we're afraid to talk to people, and then we
Mm-hmm.
become guarded, and then we still stay stuck.
Yeah.
So tell me, um, what you do. Who do you?
I serve for women who want to move out, who want to move beyond chronic situations because it's a chronic situation. If we stay in a relationship, it's not getting better. And I know what it's like to live in chronic pain. I know what it's like for something to be ongoing, and you don't know how you're going to get out. You have to find a way to get out. So if you need a way to get out, it's restarting or finding a way for your health and wellness. Because I'm a cancer survivor as well. So you have to find a way, and that's another thing. We take care of everybody else but ourselves. So you have to take the time to take care of yourself during the process. And that's hard when you're in survival mode. To even think about, oh, I need to go to the doctor, I need to go to this. When you're in survival mode, sometimes that's last on the list. If it's even on the list, unless you have something chronic. But yeah, I want you to know that you have a voice. You're not your situation. It doesn't always have to be like this. There's somebody out there that lived through and survived what you're doing to let you know that you can come out to. So
What's the title of your chapter?
coming out of the shadow.
Wow, that alone is just all come out of the shadow. So, what types of products do you offer? Do you have any products that that you're offering right now? We're coming up on Black Friday.
Oh yes, I am so excited. I do actually on Teespring. I have a few T-shirts and coffee mugs. Self love matters. Look at yourself. Fear instead of fear, we fight emotions and rise. A bag, a T-shirt, uh, coffee mug, and a pet type. So I'll leave my link. It's on Teespring, Paulas with Paula. And thanks for asking. Yes, I'm looking forward to Black Friday this year. I'm super excited.
Yes, yes, and also the book. You know,
Don't
the
forget the book,
book.
bit.ly /unmuted women. We are super excited. I think I'm the baby of the group because it's my co-authoring and publishing. So this is my baby, and I'm excited about it.
That it is, the opportunity is just, the things that are coming out of this project are just
Yes,
phenomenal. And
excited.
you know what would you say to a woman who picked up this book and is about to sit down and read it? What would you say?
At first, I would say, make, be prayerful, go into it with an open heart because there's a series of stories and events in this book that can change your life if you're open to the process. Get ready for a journey because if you're looking for strategies and information to move you forward, to inspire, to heal, to get to your inner self, this is the right to become unmoving.
So, how can the audience find you, Paula?
You can find me. I have an about me, about.me at Paula underscore M. Also, I'm on Facebook, Paula McDowell, and Instagram, the Life Changer underscore 45.
That's great. And you all need to get this book.
Yes, they do.
You all need to get this book. It is available right now on ebook. The paperback should be ready this week. Um, it's bit.ly /unmuted women. It's an Amazon bestseller. Yay! It's 9 women, 9 stories, and our voices are being unmuted. And we thank you, Paula, for being our guest today. We appreciate, what you brought to the book. We appreciate you for sharing.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be
We
on this project.
we
Thank you so much.
definitely appreciate, all that you brought and for your commitment to unmuting women. We just want to thank you. My name is S.A. Casey. And I thank you all for listening. And I hope that you'll share out this podcast, subscribe to us, send
Yes.
us a message, share this out, like our broadcast, and we will see you. Remember, this is a series. I will be releasing podcasts all this week of co-authors from this book. You won't want to miss a conversation. So with that being said, I'd like to thank you all for attending, and you be blessed and enjoy the rest of the week.
I never seen a real rainbow. I still believe though. Gotta believe though. It hurts me when people are fighting. Different street signs. Words cut like sharp knives. But it doesn't have to be that way. I will not believe that I'm the only one who has that dream. No, it doesn't have to be that way. What will it take to make you believe the change is coming?